Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Monday, January 10th, 2022. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day, and we have so much to discuss. I have various social medias. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there. I also have show notes, so the links to things that I will be talking about hopefully will be there on my blog, or if you're on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below. In addition to that, I also work at a yarn shop. It is called Pearly Girls. It is in Spring, Texas, and all the various yarn store information will be all the places, social medias, addresses, fun stuff, the website. So you can come check us out in person, or you can check us out online if you'd like to, if you are not local, or just want to, because that's also important. We have so much to talk about. I'm back for the new year. There's knitting to talk about, there's live stuff to talk about, there's just all things to talk about. I am feeling a little rusty, but that's okay. We're just gonna take it one step at a time, and we'll get there in the end, you know. As we have always done, for however long I've done this, it's okay. So, if you would like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold, whatever you may be doing, I hope it is bringing you joy. That is the most important thing. Maybe you're just relaxing, whatever you are doing, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. I made the best latte before recording, and it is so good. So good. So, everyone, hope you had a wonderful past couple of weeks. Hope you had fun times with your friends and family. I also hope that they were safe and that they were healthy. That is very important, especially right now. We had a wonderful holiday season with friends and family. That was really great. And I got so much crafting done, everyone. And I have so much to talk about. Also, just for reality, I feel like I'm very busy today. So, we don't have a full face of makeup. We don't have very nice hair. We don't have a very put together outfit. Not that you can tell because I'm sitting in my chair and you can't really see, but my outfit is a little bit haphazard. But that's okay, because this is reality. This is not how I expected to be for the first episode of 2022, but that's okay. Again, we are just going with it. We put on some fancy tinted lip balm, and we just go with it. As you do. So, just wanted to get that out there. This is just what I look like today, and that's okay. So first of all, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably have seen, but I shared this with the world, the internet, right before Christmas. We signed for our house on the Wednesday before Christmas, and that's been the big thing that's been going on in our lives. We've been house hunting or we were house hunting. We are no longer house hunting. For a very long time in 2021, and that was a very stressful process. It was a very exhausting process. It was a very emotional process. It was a lot of things. Excuse me. And so we found our amazing home that we are our first home together, which is really exciting. I mean, our first house. Obviously, we have a home in our apartment, but it'll be a house, and we're just so excited about that. So we are going to be moving in the first weekend of February. So I will probably be taking some time off around then, just to let you know, but obviously there'll be a couple episodes before that happens. So that is very exciting. We have started packing. We've started organizing and cleaning. Thankfully, obviously, we have time to do all that before we actually have to move. Where are we moving? That is another big question. We're just moving 5 minutes up the road. So we're staying in our same general area, which is the Tomball Cypress area of Houston. And we just cannot be happier. So thank you to everyone who has either just reached out with kind congratulations once we shared the news, or if you were aware of what was going on while it was going on and you were just constantly encouraging us and just offering kind words. They really do go quite a long way. So thank you. That is greatly appreciated. So that is the big thing. And I have been I've started packing my yarn and I've started packing my knitwear, and I'm feeling pretty good about it, actually. I'm gonna go with the trash bag route because I feel like boxes need to be dedicated to other things that cannot be put into trash bags. And we happen to have a box of trash bags available, and that's what it became. It's my yarn stuff. The knitted items, on the other hand, will be put in boxes and potentially used for packing material because that's always a good option. That's I feel like I've moved that with that method many times at this point. It works quite well. So we are just, and there's just been a lot going on with the holidays and the beginning of the new year, and so it's just been a lot of like, oh wow, this is happening at the end of the month, and we are slowly ramping up to our big go time, as it were, and we're just so excited. So that will be happening, and I will have an area for my yarn. I will have a beautiful area for my knitwear and yarn, and I'm gonna have it on display basically in our I don't know what you would really call that. It's not necessarily the living room, but it's kind of an open area with the living room. The people who currently live in the house have it as kind of like a study, but it's open. It's not like a closed off room. So I will be there. I am so excited to be able to organize and just decorate and plan everything out to show all that stuff off, and I just cannot even. So I'm sure there will be more pictures and obviously Instagram posts, so go follow me on Instagram. It's important. And maybe videos, maybe when I start organizing my yarn in the new place, maybe that would be an interesting thing if you have any desire to see that. Or I may just put together a fun little like sped up video of what I'm doing. I don't know. And then the time may come and I'm like, I do not have time to do this. And that may also be the case. So no promises, just throwing ideas out there right now. But anyway, so that's the big news. What else is new? Sam and I have been married for 5 years this coming Friday, which is very exciting, and will be our 5-year wedding anniversary, which is wonderful, and we are very excited. So the house has kind of been, it was a very big Christmas slash anniversary gift. And it's just been very fun, and we're just, again, we're so excited. I can't say that enough. There are words that cannot adequately describe how excited we are, and overwhelmed in the most wonderful way. So, knitting wise, everyone, wow, I I don't even know. What am I wearing? I am wearing a piece of knitwear. I had other items on today because it is cold and I had to run errands, and it was just delightful. I had 3 items on at the same time. And I was like, oh, this is just so amazing. So this is my Sea Vogger by Kate Davies. This is just a normal tunic-y type sweater with a drop sleeve, a very deep drop sleeve, and the stripes. My yarn is Knit Picks Stroll Tweed, which I love and would love to knit a lot of things out of Stroll. It's just such a nice yarn and it wears so well, and I love the tweed and it just can't go wrong. So, highly recommend. That is what I am wearing currently. Earlier I had my Drops of Joy shawl on, and then I also had my Lillian cardigan. Excuse me. So in regards to the, in case you're interested in my thought process, I don't know if you are, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. So in regards to packing my knitted items, I don't really know. I think what am I trying to say? The idea of packing all my knitwear and yarn is very overwhelming to me. And so the past couple of days and weeks, I have just been very excited about, my watch was like not, the little thing had been pulled out, so it was actually moving as I was rotating that, because I do that sometimes. A little habit of just playing with things. Anyway, sorry, that was distracting. I was feeling very confident and I was just feeling very productive, so I started packing one of the things that was most overwhelming to me, which was my knitting and knitwear and yarn. Yes, okay. So what I did, obviously I still want to wear knitted items and I still need to knit and I still need to continue on with the things that I have going, and I want to have access to stuff that I may want to cast on. You know, that's important. And so I went through, I've done my shawls. I separated all my sweaters from my shawls and cowls and hats and accessories and stuff like that. So I've done my shawls. I had a great box for like rolling up shawls very tightly and packing them in, and I did that, and it looks really pretty cool, if I do say so myself. And so I just went through and I picked out a couple that I wanted to keep out during the month of January so I can wear them, because I know that it will be cold and it will be windy. Actually, it will be windy. I don't need air quotes around that, but it will be cold. And so Drops of Joy was one of those that I had left out, and so consequently I have a pile of knitwear in the middle of the living room floor that is basically my knit wardrobe. I still need to do my sweaters. My sweaters take up much more space, and maybe that's because they're bigger. I don't know, but there are quite a lot of them. And I know there is somewhere in our closet a box, a smaller box. It's not too many items, but I do have a couple of pieces that need some intense TLC, and so I set them aside forever ago to like actually do something with them, and I haven't, and so I don't know what exactly I'm going to do with that. I may just pack it up at the closet. So I don't know. It's very windy. It's been very windy, and it's very cold, and it's very pleasant. So, Drops of Joy, I need to go through my sweaters and pick out ones that I want to continue to wear. Obviously, all like my summer ones can be packed away. And obviously, it's not like I'm going to be away for them for a long time. So it's just that like I want to get it packed and done now so I can close up the box and be like, okay, it's another thing I don't have to worry about now at the beginning of January, knowing that we're going to be moving in less than a month. So I just need to make sure that I don't need it next week, which is okay. You know, this is that we're all learning things during this whole process. whether it be about what house hunting is and what is involved with buying a house, or things like making very small decisions without stressing about it, which is also important. We have not talked about knitting yet. I do apologize. I've gotten so much knitting done. Where do we begin? I have no idea. So I did get yarn for Christmas. I'm very excited. I will show that to you. Very quickly, I want to, I did get some knitwear tools, I guess. If one can call a book a tool. I will call it a tool. It's got very good and stuff. This is Visible Creative Mending for Knitwear by Flora Collingwood Norris. And I am so excited to dive into this more. I read through it the other day, and it's just so exciting. And it's like learning how to, whoopsies, there's a little piece of paper in here. It's like learning, well, there are 2 pieces of paper in there. It's like learning how to do this kind of stuff on knitwear that has holes in it. And I mean, that's just part of being a knitter, really, is having stuff that has holes and needs to be mended. And like, where's the finished one of that? I really like how that looks. It's just darning, basically, and it's just really fun. And I do not have any experience with this, and this has been something that I have tried to teach myself via the internet, and it just doesn't go very well. The pictures in here are very clear, and just going through it, it was like, oh, that's way easier. Because I also love the idea of having visible mending. Unless it really, for whatever reason, it needs to be seamless, then that's fine. But like, I really love the idea of having these additional decorations, almost accessories to whatever piece it may be. And it's like, you know what, I love this thing so much. I love it so much that I'm gonna make it work, and I'm gonna add another little piece of art to it that makes me happy. And I think that's really fun. So I'm super excited about this. My parents gave me this, and then they also gave me one of the little Katrinkles darning looms, which I'm super excited about. So and it works out very well, because how you do this particular type of darning is actually described in this book. And so I was like, oh, how perfect. I did not plan that, but that is great. But there's instructions in here, and it's got all the tools that you need, and it even comes with a little tapestry needle, which is really nice. So I am super excited about that. I have yet to actually dive into that. I keep meaning to, and just with everything, I've been really clinging to my comfort mindless knits, with a few exceptions. But I really want to like sit down and have fun with this, and now is not the time, and that's okay. But the time is coming soon, and I will have so much fun, and I cannot wait. But I just wanted to share this with you all. Would highly recommend at least the book. I know that this is going to be a great tool, but I haven't used it yet, so recommend the book for sure. Yeah, I just love the idea of visible mending. I think it's an amazing thing. Also, just giving things longer lives. It's a whole discussion. So, knitting wise, where do we begin? Besides the beginning. Haha, don't rate me. I don't know. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Happy 2022. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Yes. I know. Let's start with this finish object, because I do have a finish object, and actually, you know what? I don't know. This goes, I should have recenter. We know what we're talking about. This is the perfect segment or segue from giving things longer lives, visible mending, making things such that they are pieces in your wardrobe that you love and will continue to wear forever because you've taken the time, you put in the work. You want it to be something that you love to wear. And so like I said, I have a couple sweaters that I have made over the years, whether and they've just not been something that I've reached for frequently, or they've not been my favorite thing to wear, whether that because of the yarn choices or something about the fit of it or the sleeves or something, I don't know. And so I really wanted to make the conscious effort to take some of those pieces that I knew that I would wear if I changed something, if it was an easy fix, that I do that. And I did do that, and I'm very proud of myself because it was something that I've been putting off for forever, and I did it, and I'm very proud of myself. I didn't procrastinate, which I do quite a bit. So if you have been around, if you've been watching this podcast for a long time, you may recognize this pullover, but I tested this pullover forever ago in 2018. I don't remember, 2017 or 2018. This is very hard to see. This is the Cowl pullover by Flossy Knits, if I remember correctly. And so it is a seamed piece. I don't remember the last time I've done a seam piece, and I honestly, not to toot my own horn, but I thought this was knit in the round until I was weaving in ends, and I was like, oh, I seamed this. I did such a good job, I didn't even know it was seamed. Wow, go me. That was just a really wonderful moment. So I love this. It is just such a beautiful, like, baby cable pattern. It's very hard to see. It's just because the color is so dark. I love the color. This is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Sport. I believe this is a DK weight sweater though, and so I mean it worked just fine, and I love the color. It's a beautiful maroon. If you're new here, I went to A&M. Maroon, we bleed maroon, blah blah blah. I love maroon anyway. So when I did the sleeves, I just didn't do them very well, and I was not a fan of how they looked. I didn't like them, and so I just let it sit. And I knew that it was something that I could easily fix because it would just be taking out the sleeves and just readjusting how I picked up the sleeves. And I just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off until last week. And now I have a beautiful sleeve that fits perfectly, and I am so excited to wear this sweater. I know that you can't really see it, but I am just, I'm so excited. I'm so proud of myself for putting in the work and making something that I was not happy with, something that I was happy with, and re-knitting the sleeves. And it took me like no time at all. I just did a generic sleeve. I added some shaping to my liking. And since it's just a drop shoulder almost, or it is a drop shoulder, it kind of hits right here. It's just easy to pick everything up, and I didn't need to seam anything. There were a poop ton of ends to weave in, because when I knit this I did not weave in my ends as I went because I didn't know how to do that at the time. So that was a thing. But I frogged the sleeves. That was a whole process. I did the whole thing. I did it on my Nitty Knotty, and then I washed the yarn, and I then let it dry, and I like hung heavy thing on it so it would get uncrinkly, and I just did the whole shebang, and I was like, wow, you're not cutting any corners here. Look at me go. I think because of everything just being up in the air, I was like, I need to control something. And I can control this right now. So I am so excited to get to wear this. Again, this is the Corbel pullover by Flossy Knits, and yeah, so we're gonna have a new sweater that I can add into my pile of sweaters I wear, and it just makes me really happy because that looks like something that I would want to buy. Honestly, if I saw that, I'd be like, ooh, I think I need that, but I made it, so that's awesome. What are we going to talk about? Let's take a little coffee break, shall we? Let's take a little rest our voice. Our voice is feeling a little tired. I'm not breathing well because I'm not used to recording. I'm taking a break and I need to readjust my breathing. It's a real thing though, and I know that sounds really silly, but when you don't, I have a tendency to, when I have a lot of ideas, I talk too fast and I don't breathe, and then I get really out of breath, and it's like, I'm not working out here. I mean, I work out frequently. It's not like I'm having a hard time breathing because I'm just out of shape or anything. I'm just talking too fast. Anyway, time for a coffee break. So, I kept up with my advent projects pretty well. Pretty darn well, if I do say so myself. But as time went on, because, let's rewind. What advents am I doing? Or what advents did I do? So number one is Heathered Handmaids. And her theme was cozy animals, and I am loving this so much. There's a piece of yarn that just stuck. There we go. I am doing the City Fade wrap by the Yarn Addict. I think that's what her name is. Yes, Lauren. I believe this is her. You know. Yep, that is her. Which is super fun, and it's just like a long wrap, and you've got these twisted stitches, and it's really great. And you hold the yarn double. And I have 7 days left, everyone. I did a good job of staying on top of my colors. And the days, I did very well. So last time you saw it, everyone, I was here. And look how much I've done since then. Since the little snowman. I did very well. And like I said, I have 7 days left. I love these colors so much. Heather did such an amazing job with just creating this very seamless fade, and with the beautiful solids in between, and of course carrying on the theme of cozy animals, which we can't go wrong with cozy animals. I think this one that I just finished is probably my favorite, which I think is Happy Kitty. And I just love it so much. It's so nice. I love her base. It's so squishy. I cannot wait to wear this. This is advent that I've been working on, because like I was going to say, these rows are not getting longer. These rows stayed the same amount the entire time, and though it's not like I could completely ignore what I was doing, because obviously the stitches were twisted and I needed to be careful of getting both strands of yarn. This was still a very good, mindless, just kind of like, we're just bebopping along. The rows are not getting longer. So I made a lot of progress on there. And I would really love to have that done by next week. I don't know if that is possible, but I think it could happen. So it goes surprisingly quick, obviously, because you're knitting with 2 strands of yarn. It is thicker, and knitting on a size 9, 8 or 9, and it's especially if you have like something going on around you, or you have something fun on the TV, or you listen to an audiobook, something like that, like it just goes by like that super fast. So my other advent calendar which is living in my Farmhouse Cafe bag, which I still love and adore. I just love it so much. Is my Wavy Wiggles by Stephen West. And I am doing the Lavender Loon Boho Blush Advent Calendar, and this is the color I'm currently knitting with, which I just really, really, really love so much. It is beautiful. But, so I think I may have marked, yeah, I think I marked this last time I showed it to you. So I still made a lot of progress. Like and we're not going to discount the fact that I got a lot done, because also I did a lot of other things as well. But these rows are just getting so long, which is the nature of this pattern. I knew this would happen. And so I was down here last time I showed this to you. And it was taking a bunch of time, which is very understandable. That's just how it works. And I didn't always have time to, because I think also what I had planned to do was, like, I got to the point where I was on the same day for each advent calendar and I wanted to do them at the same time, but obviously this one was taking me much longer to do one day because the rows are so long. So I decided just to keep going with Heather's Advent and put this on hold for a moment. And yeah, so I'm just piddling along, loving this. Like I said, this is Lavender Loon's Boho Blush. I love these colors so much. And also my mom, everyone, she's doing the same thing. Wavy Wiggles, Boho Blush. She's almost done with it. Last time I talked to her yesterday, we were FaceTiming, and she has 3 days left, 3 mini skeins left, and I was so proud of her for powering through, because again, I know she's been very busy, and these rows are not short. And I was like, oh, this is inspirational, Mom. Thank you for showing me your Wavy Wiggles. I need to finish by. So that's very exciting, and it was really fun to see how it looks together. There are a couple of these that I accidentally did out of order, which I did the same thing with Heather's. I was like, oh no, I messed this up. But with Heather's, because of her colors, she just planned them out so well that they all kind of went together easily. And with this, obviously there's no real plan, so it's not like it's a bad thing or it's gonna mess anything up if colors get out of order. So in that regard, my shawl is a little different from my mom's, but everything else is basically the same. So I'm so excited. I cannot wait to continue on with this. This is very mindless. This is all garter stitch minus these big Wavy Wiggles holes. I love this pattern. It is so much fun. It is so easy. And I know that these big holes look kind of wonky, but trust me when I say that they are so much fun. And you will not regret doing a Wavy Wiggles. I definitely foresee another Wavy Wiggles in my life. Maybe another Advent one. Maybe not next year, but definitely would do this again. Definitely stash busting. I know my mom also wants to do that as well. We'll just have an Advent Wavy Wiggles and then a stash busting Wavy Wiggles. Yes, this is from Farmhouse Sewing Cafe from Elena. Her shop will be linked in the show notes, of course, but I love this bag. It just makes me happy. And I love how big it is. We cannot go wrong with big project bags, because for those of us who are just constantly knitting big things, we need the big space. So I love that bag so much. What else have I been working on? This is a new cast on. I did get good progress on my cruiser cardigan, and I knit maybe 2 inches, which is currently just a garter stitch strip. I did knit on it, and I got like 2 to 3 inches. I was very proud of myself. But it's in the bottom of the bag, and it's a plastic bag. so I will not show it to you this week. But I would like to work on it this coming week, and maybe I will show it to you next week. Also, everyone, well, no, we're going to continue talking about other stuff first, and then we'll get into the chest knitting discussion, because of course we know that's a thing, forever and always. Hi, welcome to the new year. I'm still singing. I'm still singing about everything. No shame. I got so much done on my clove pullover, everyone. This is by Rachel Kurihara, or Rachel Knits Things on Instagram. Wow. I was at this little pie slice last time you saw this. What? And now I've joined in the round, and I'm working on the body of this beautiful, amazing sweater, everyone. What am I using? I'm using my beloved Knit Picks Stroll Tweed in the Persimmon colorway, and I am also using a Loft from Knit Picks in the Oat colorway. And let me just tell you, I just cannot even with this beautiful fabric that it is creating. We have the tweed, we have the mohair, we have this cute progress keeper from Little Bitty Delights, which I just love and adore. So, like I said, I've started the body, and I'm working in the round currently till I get the length, and then I do the ribbing, and then I do my sleeves, and then I'm done. So I magically, okay, so I had a story time. It's really, I feel like it's kind of anticlimactic, honestly, but so the point being is that Sam and I got to see the Nutcracker this year, which may sound like, wow, good for you, you got to see the Nutcracker. It's more special than that, for me anyway. So I grew up, which is seeing the Nutcracker for the most part almost every Christmas, which is just a huge, incredible experience that I am just amazingly blessed by to have. And so consequently, that is something that I am, and Sam too, he's also very excited about this because he's just very kind and understands that this is important to me. So we're carrying on this Nutcracker tradition into our own family of the two of us, and so we were not able to do it last year because obviously of COVID, and that was very sad. And the Houston Ballet was just, it's the whole ordeal, and so to be able to see it this year was just, or in 2021, it was just like so good. We had so much fun. It was slightly different because of like amounts of people on stage and all kind of stuff, but it was still like, it was just so good. It was the Christmas spirit, holiday spirit that I needed at the time, and it was just amazing. I'm telling you this, you're like, why in the world? This has nothing to do with knitting. You're right, it doesn't, but I knit during the entire performance, of course. It would be weird if I didn't. And that's where I got most of this done. I knit over 7 inches during watching the Nutcracker. Somehow, magically, I don't know, it was the Christmas spirit, honestly. It was the Sugar Plum Fairy and Land of the Sweets. It was the music, just the joy. So that was very fun. I got most of my knitting done there. It was really amazing, and so that was just like, oh my goodness gracious, I got so much done, and that was just very inspirational to me to like push past that 7 inches, because for some reason it was taking me a long time, and once I got past it, it was like, oh, okay, well, I'm just knitting in the round now, so we're just gonna get this thing done. I did wonder if I was gonna get this done before recording today, but obviously I didn't, and that's okay. I still got so much other stuff done. So now I'm just knitting in the round and around and around and around and around until I get to the bottom, and we've got a split hem, and it's just all good. All good. I'm very excited. Next up, in my super cute Sandy by the Lakeside bag, which is one of my favorite small project bags now, is holding my Montana Mountain Cowl, not Mountain Montana Cowl, it's Montana Mountain Cowl by Andrea Mowry. Did I put a progress keeper in here? I don't think I did. I honestly don't know how much progress I have made since I last showed this to you, but I'm going to show it to you anyway because I would like to work on it, and this is part of my process of like encouraging me to work on it, is if I show it to you. So this is what I have so far. We have a provisional cast on. We love a good provisional cast on. I am using a Zauber ball, a crazy Zauber ball, and Kelborn Woolens something. This, the fingering weight. Oh, what? I wondered where this went. This is, oh goodness gracious, how did this end up in here? This is a safety pin full of my medium-sized stitch markers, and I thought I lost it, and I am glad that I have found it, because as you can see there's a lot of stitch markers on here. Very important, you know. Fun fact, great way to store stitch markers, especially if you're traveling. Put them on a big stitch marker or a big safety pin, you know, it works. So now that we found that, I got this yarn from Maker and Stitch when I visited my parents, or we visited my parents for Thanksgiving, and I'm loving this. It's just so beautiful. I'm still needing to find my rhythm of this pattern. Oh, someone suggested, I can't remember her name. Oh, someone suggested to put stitch markers every repeat. Oh, that's probably why I put that in there. See, I knew what I was doing. Yes, so I apologize that I have forgotten who commented that, but thank you. I was going to. I just hadn't done it yet. In fact, I'm going to leave these in here because I need to do that. So, that's very exciting. My Montana Mountain Cowl by Andrea Mowry. Next up is a new cast-on. The rest are new cast-ons, actually. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Fun times. So this yarn I got for Christmas, and I love it so much. It is just so much fun. This is a new to me yarn from our beloved hobby, H-O-B-B-I-I. This is Tweed Delight. And I saw this yarn in one of their, like, it wasn't an ad because I follow them, but I'm pretty sure I've gotten ads like this before. But I saw this and I needed to have it. Like, it's just so happy. This is very, I feel like, outside my comfort zone. And then there's my in-laws' dog hair on it, which is fine. I do not mind at all. Obviously, my stuff is covered in animal hair, but I just think it's funny that it's her, Beasley's, dog hair. I love this yarn. So the way that I put together my Christmas list when it comes to yarn is that I list the project. I include the Ravelry page. I have the color, how many balls I need, and then the link to buy the yarn, just for ease for people who are shopping for me. And so Sam got me this yarn, and I gave him 3 color options when it came to this base. One of them being this one, and the other 2 were more neutral. And I'm really glad that he went with this one. It's just so much fun. So I started on Christmas Day. This is my Christmas Day cast on, everyone. And actually, technically, it wasn't Christmas Day. I think this was my Christmas Eve, because Sam and I did Christmas together first, and then we went and did Christmas with my in-laws. And we're going to tie this Scooby. I'm making a cardigan, because everyone, I'm announcing to you all that this will be the year of the cardigan. I have way too many pullovers, though I love pullovers and will continue to make pullovers this year for sure. I say that because I got 2 others on my needle right now that I'm about to show you. I need more cardigans. So this is a cardigan. This is the Big Love cardigan by Oncostrict. I believe that I'm saying that, I could be saying that wrong. And if so, I do apologize. But we have this beautiful, like, look at this. What is this construction? I have no idea. It's very strange. But we have this beautiful stitch pattern here. And I don't know what we're doing, but I think this is the collar. I think it folds over kind of like that. And I'm not really sure what all is going on. All I know is that I'm knitting a certain amount of inches right now in the pattern. And it's just so squishy and I love it so much, and it's just so happy with the flecks of neon, and I just love it so much. I think it's very unique and very different. Again, very outside of what I normally go for, and I love it. And I think it'll be super squishy, very snuggly, and very much like a coat for here anyway. And I love it so much. So that is this. This was my Christmas present. Also on here I have one of my Hand Stitch Life progress keepers that I really love. And it's got a little star on it. Ooh, there we go. Super cute. I thought that it matched the vibe of this yarn very well, so I really am enjoying that. So then my other project that is not a test knit, does that infer that I have more than one test knit going? Maybe. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. It's okay. And I've got all this yarn in here because I thought I was being nice and organized, and it turns out that I wasn't. That's okay. I tried, you know? I had good intentions. So I'm doing a knit along with my friend Andrea, and we are knitting Birds of a Feather. Were you expecting this? Probably not. But that's okay. You know what? This is we're being more spontaneous. We're casting on the things that bring us joy. And she had been wanting to do it, and I've been wanting to do it, and I went stash busting. And so I'm using my Mohair Suburban Stitcher in the maple colorway, and then I'm also using some long dog yarn in the rose gold colorway, which I think is just absolutely beautiful. And I've been saving both of these. I've got 2 of these and 1 of these, and I've been saving them for the perfect project. And you know what? It's just one of those things that, like, if you save it for so long, then you don't enjoy it. So just pick something. It will be clear if it is the right project when you get it started, but don't put it off too long. It's the same, it goes the same for like using fancy things, like fancy cooking utensils or something like that. I don't know, just like don't not use nice things because you don't want to use them because you don't want to mess them up. They are meant to be used. They are meant to be loved. And I am knitting this yarn that I've been saving into this beautiful lacy mohair shawl, into this Birds of a Feather by Andrea Mowry. I got the feather and fan right on the first try, and I'm very proud of myself. Because if you are new to the podcast, we're going to move this progress keeper so I do not forget. If you are new to the podcast, you may not know that I have a very intense love-hate relationship with Feather and Fan, and at one point I said I would never do it again. And here I am. I just have to watch it very carefully, really, is the only problem. I just need to pay attention. But I'm loving this. This is very exciting. This was our New Year's Eve cast on. And yeah, I'm just very excited to continue on with that and see how hers turns out. So those are all my personal projects. Now we're on to 2 final test knits, and then I think we'll be done with all the knitting that I've gotten done. I know, right? I know. I'm gonna take a little bit of coffee break though first, because again, breathing, gotta rest, gotta take a break. Okay, everyone. So I have 2 test knits going. One of them is due at the end of January, and the other one is due in the middle of February. So, as you can guess, I've probably been working on the January one significantly, because I actually got both of them. I got accepted for both of them in December, and I did not start them until January because, like I said, I was done testing for the year, but I knew that these deadlines were far enough away that it would be fine if I started late, so it has not been a problem. And this first one that I'm about to show you, I knit this in a week, what I have to show you. I knit all of this in a week. So, therefore, you need to knit this when it comes out. So this is the Long Winter Song pullover, or Long Winter Song by Tiff Nealand of Tiff Nealand Knits. I've tested it for her many times before, and I am just so excited about how this is looking. This is a colorwork pullover, and we've got colorwork on the bottom, and I just have the sleeves to do. Again, a reminder, I knit this in a week. This is a DK weight pullover. I am using stash yarn. This is Cascades DK. I don't remember what it's called, but it's Cascades DK. And then I'm actually, the rest of my contrasting colors are all fingering weight, but I'm holding them double. Because my DK weight stash is not as extensive as my fingering weight stash, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. So I made it work. I have this purple color from Suburban Stitcher. Now I can't remember the name. I think it's not Cosmopolitan, that's the other one. I don't remember what, oh, is it, no. I don't remember. I used this color in the Ladybird test knit for Joji Locatelli last year. The gold is Uncommon Thread in the Praline, something Praline colorway. The blue is Farmer's Daughter's Fibers, which was in my lumpy space in the, I used to remember what it was called because I would rattle off all those names whenever I would knit my lumpy space, and now I can't remember. And then I just have a white, which is not as much, you can kind of see it a little bit there, and then here at the bottom I have a white from Madeline Tosh. I think it's Antique. But yeah, so I have the bottom done, and I just have the sleeves to do, and the sleeves actually have this same motif right before the cuff, and the cuff will actually be in purple, and I'm very excited about this. So I know that this is a pullover, and I know I just said that this is the year of the cardigan, but I mean, I just can't go wrong. And then there was another one, everyone, that I just asked for information about that is also a pullover, and I just can't say no. I can't say no. It's a new year, you know, and I know my limits. I know my limits. It's fine. It is fine. Anyway, I'm loving this. Again, colorwork, yoked, super great. One thing I really love, so both these test knits are colorwork pullovers, but they're different in their own unique ways. Obviously they're different designers, but One thing I really like about Tiff's patterns, and I've noticed this in the other one that I tested it for her, Wild Poppy. And granted, there wasn't as much color work as there is on here, and I know this is true for her other color work patterns as well, but she does a really good job of like dividing up each section into its own chart. She does that for, I'm sure, for a lot of good reasons, but I think because there are different sizes that she does. There's a lot of different sizes, which is really great, but it's also just like, so you've got one chart here, you've got one chart for this guy, you've got one chart for this guy, one chart for this guy. And for me personally, that just like, I don't know how to describe it, but basically it just looks less overwhelming, I guess. Not that the ones that are all in one chart are not, it's not like they are overwhelming, but it's just like, oh, well, I just break it down into a bunch of different little pieces and then I'll be fine. And I can usually get them done more quickly, and I'm usually more inspired to like get them done quickly opposed to looking at one big color work chart, which obviously it's different for different designers, it's different for different patterns, it's laid out a special way for a particular reason. But just in my opinion, I was going through these color charts and I was like, oh, I'm just really ripping through all these. And I really do think it is because they are broken down so well. And I think it's just more bite-sized color work. And so it's just like, oh, well, this is really easy. I can just do this one. It's just like 4 rows and then I'll be done. And then you get there and you're like, oh, the next one's only 5 rows. I'll just do that one. And then I'll be done. So, Long Winter Song. This is coming out, I believe, at the end of January. So, start collecting your DK weight yarn, whether you are stash diving or you're getting new yarn for it. Everyone needs one of these. It's just such a fun knit. It's such a fun knit. And also, if you are looking for a new technique to learn this year in 2022, I almost said 2021, it's not 2021, not 2021 anymore, and you like color work, I would highly recommend learning to knit color work with both hands. And this is the universal motion for knitting color work with both hands, because this pattern is a lot of like 1 by 1. There are obviously rows that are not 1 by 1 of each color, but it's a really good practice, and I would highly recommend you giving that a try. It feels very awkward at first, don't get me wrong, but don't write it off. I think it would be very fun to try. I think this is a really good opportunity to learn that, because you have so much 1 by 1 work here, and even in the little chevron thing, you got 1 by 1 in there too. So if you're looking to try something new, would highly recommend that. That was one of I learned that the beginning of 2020, right before everything shut down. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. And it has served me well. So I've been doing that for 2 years now, and it is life-changing. I'm fitting both of my projects in my bag that Cassie of Big Sky Yarn Company made for me. This is holding my Birds of a Feather and my Long Winter Song. So that is really great, because we have to transport all this stuff back out into the living room. Next up, and lastly, we're just going to go over this very quickly, is my other test knit. Ooh. And this is all over color work. This is a lot of color work. And I'm loving it so much. This is a design that I believe is unnamed, but it's a swancho. It's a colorwork swancho. This is by Olga of Handmade Closet, I believe. One moment. Handmade Closet. I love her patterns so much. They're the most beautiful things ever. and I want to knit all of them. And that was my goal for, one of my goals for this year was to knit one of her patterns, because I actually hadn't knit one of her patterns before. And then she posted a test call, and I was like, oh, I need this. I need to do this. So I'm doing this unnamed, currently unnamed swan show. And this is all that I have so far, but I am so excited. Again, this is stash busting. Except for the main color, I got Barocco Ultra Wool, which I got from work. DK, excuse me, another DK weight sweater. We love it so much. It's a good staple, good stitch definition. I'm using various stash in here, and I'm just loving it so much. I love how this green looks. I think it's just stunning. The green and the tan are actually DK weight, and then this color here is a very, very pale purple, which I believe is actually also Suburban Stitcher. That's fingering, and I'm holding that double, so I'm just loving it so much. And this is, look at my floats, it's so beautiful. This color work chart is very, I hate to use the word intense, that makes it sound like it's bad. It's not bad, it's intense, but not in a bad way. It's just like, this is a lot of color work. This is intense. But again, like, that's just what it is. It's beautiful. It is an amazing pattern. It is well written, and I'm so excited to be testing for her, and just getting to have the opportunity to test knit for someone that I have admired for so long as a designer. So again, this is not due until sometime in February. Once the sleeves are done on the Long Winter Song, this is going to be my top priority, and there's a lot of color work. It's all over color work, and I'm very excited. This is going to be an adventure for sure, and I cannot wait to see how it turns out. So I am loving it so much. So much. Are these my 7s? I think these may be my 7s. Oh no, these are not my 7s, these are my 9s. They feel like 7s. I was looking for my 7s for my Birds of a Feather, and I was like, they have to be somewhere. But they're probably somewhere because I cast on a poop ton of stuff around the holidays, and now I am missing a bunch of needles because they're being used. And that's okay, you know, that's totally fine. That is totally fine. It's just a happy thing. It's very, very happy. That is all the knitting that I have for you all. Everyone, we have been talking for about an hour. It's been a lot. I hope that you have enjoyed this. I have enjoyed being back. I'm now going to go edit this so it can go up on its normal day. So thank you so much for being here, for waiting while I took my break. That was very much needed, and I'm ready to come back with much joy until we move, and then I'll take some more time off and it'll all be good. But don't forget about various social medias, yarn store information, show notes, all that stuff will be all the various places. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message, or if you just want to say hello, please do that. That would be wonderful. I hope you have had a wonderful couple of weeks, and I hope you continue to have a wonderful week as well. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are so successful. We all know the crafty plans I have ahead of me. Top priorities: to finish my City Fade wrap out of Heather's advent calendar. Finish, or at least get one sleeve done of the Long Winter Song pullover. Pick up the Wavy Wiggles again. And then I'd like to continue working on Big Love. I haven't worked on that in a while just because things got kind of crazy, but that will bring me joy. So those are my top 4 goals. We will see how that turns out. Oh, also maybe the Clove sweater, continue making progress on that. I need to move my progress keeper. Yes. Anyway, those are my crafty plans. I hope that you had a wonderful time while I was away, but I'm back again to discuss all the crafty things and the weather and singing and all that stuff. We'll go over goals at a later date. I had not had time to go over knitting goals or intentions or whatever you want to call them for this week. It was not a top priority, and that's okay. We'll get there. We'll get there indeed. But I can tell you that steeking is in my future. Steeking is one thing that because again, everyone's the year of the cardigan. We will be steeking. We will be steeking. I say that now, and now I feel like I'm not going to be able to do it, but we will do it. We'll get those steeks done. Yep. Yep. It will happen. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, for just giving up some of your time to listen to me rant and ramble about all my knitting stuff. It's been so long, and I'm glad we've had this nice little catch up. I appreciate you. You are wonderful. You are enough. I hope you have some time to rest if you need that, or if you have some time to organize, if that would make you feel better, because I know organizing things sometimes makes me feel better. Sometimes it makes me feel more overwhelmed. Sometimes it does not. It really just depends. So I am off to go edit this and do laundry, and I will see you all next week with hopefully some finished objects. Wouldn't that be nice? We will see. We will see. I think I can do it. I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Anyway, with that, I will see you all next week. Bye.